You better strap on your Kevlar, America. This is the Red Arrow Gun Show. Well, this is it, the last show of Red Arrow TV for this season. And today we're actually going to step outside of our bow hunting comfort zone, and we're going to talk about a topic that I feel is not only vital to us as sportsmen, but us as American citizens as well.
Oh, Uncle Ted, need you to be proud of me today, buddy.
Get your gun tan lotion out.
I feel like Austin Powers. I got earplugs in. I'm having trouble controlling the volume of my voice.
Doesn't sound like a sought-after hunting destination, but Cocoa Beach, Florida is definitely home to some hogs. Got a few gators down there, and it's got a lot of good people down there too. Our buddies at Diamondback Firearms, especially Bobby Fleckinger, man, we've gotten to be real close friends with him over the years, and he makes an excellent rifle. And Bobby's a partner of the TV show, and he does a real good job for us, makes us excellent weapons that we get to shoot, which is always cool.
Man, that's bad to the bone.
Just because the show's called Red Arrow doesn't mean we don't like to go out in the woods with the gun every once in a while.
Drop team, baby. Woo!
Well, there's no telling what kind of hunting we're gonna get into this week. I kind of brought everything I had. I got my bow fishing rig, I got my bow and arrow, I got my Diamondback 300 Blackout.
It's the Diamondback 300 Blackout Red Arrow Edition. It's been staring at me in the closet for a while, saying,
We're gonna go to the Brooks Brothers Gator Farm, mess around with some alligators a little bit, ride on some airboats, shoot some fully automatic weapons, kill some hogs. I mean, what more could a redneck ask for? You know, we made our rounds through Georgia and Florida for sure this spring, and I think we went down to Bobby's about 4 different times to do different things: bow fishing, gator hunting, hog hunting, building guns. We picked up 2 or 3 sets of guns from him down there. You know, we did a lot of filming. It almost gets confusing. So if you see my beard length long and half this episode is short and the other half and a shaved head and part of it, it's because it was over 3 or 4 different trips.
This is Bobby from Diamondback.
"What's up, Bobby? How you doing, man?"
It's always good to see my friend Bobby, man. We've hit it off over the last couple of years. We met down at Zach's house, actually, when Bobby built us the ultimate bow fishing boat.
He hooked it up, dude.
Yeah, that's what Kat wouldn't even send me a picture though. She was like, nah, you gotta see it yourself. You can't see any cell phone pictures. So.
Yeah, he hooked it up. It's nasty.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, dude.
Yeah, it's got a 154 stroke. It's whisper quiet. Right here, it's got a little inverter generator, and he ran the exhaust out the back.
You freaking did it up, right?
Bobby is the personification of the American dream, man. He started out as a teenage kid building about 1 airboat a year and built Diamondback airboats up to a point where people all over the world are riding around in Bobby's airboats. Bobby's obviously got a great reputation in building these boats, and he decided to take that a step further and create Diamondback Firearms. Now, they started out with a little compact pistol you might recognize.
It's easy to carry, you're more likely to carry it.
Yeah. This is our 380. Same thing. It's got a Crimson Trace laser on it. You can see the sizes are almost identical.
Bobby started out making pistols, and he's since moved to making long guns.
It's a Diamondback AR. This one is the one that you guys can't have. But we're gonna show you some in a minute that you can have. I shouldn't speak for everybody. Some of y'all can get this one.
You know, I'm a bow hunter, kind of above all else, but I love my AR-15 platform, man. That is a gun. It's so fun, so versatile. Kids can shoot it. They're easy to use. Contrary to what Joe Biden might tell you, buy a shotgun. If you want a good laugh, seriously though, go on the internet and look for the Joe Biden buy a shotgun video. Hilarious. Listen to what he says. He promotes having a shotgun to go out on a porch and negligently discharge the gun into a neighborhood. That's what the idiot is promoting. Then turn to face the would-be criminal with an unloaded gun. That's what the government has in mind for you as far as your safety. I think the first time we swung by Bobby's, we were gonna pick up a gun that I'm really excited about. It's the Red Arrow Signature Series 300 Blackout. Well, after we pick up these Red Arrow guns, we're heading up to see my buddy Jeremy in 7th Group Special Forces up in the Panhandle of Florida. And we're gonna go out to a legit tactical sniper range and test these guns out.
Put it through the test.
You know, it's always cool to be around Jeremy, especially when it involves getting advice on shooting or weapons, because the boy has had millions of dollars worth of federal government training to be an instrument of death.
When I do a precision shot, instead of gripping it like this, I place this hand on this side.
Oh, okay.
You're seeing?
Yeah.
So you're more pulling straight back than maybe pulling it left or right.
I got
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're running and gunning, you're gripping it.
Yeah,
You got to hold it. But if you're doing a precision shot, that's what that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
trick that I learned.
We just got out there and shot the guns, had fun, put a bunch of steel targets down. Missed a few times.
I'm dead.
After we shot the guns with Jeremy, we swung up through Georgia and then headed on home and planned a return visit to Diamondback to kill some gators and to get a tour of the Brooks Brothers Gator Farm. And then it is on to do a little bit of gator hunting in a way that I've never done it before. We're gonna do it swamp people style. This looks like it might be the place.
Yeah, this is Shane.
What's going on? How you doing?
We're going to be going tomorrow with.
What's going on, man? Nice to meet you. Good to meet you, brother.
See how it starts and finishes?
Yeah, sure, man.
They get
Now the Brooks Brothers Gator Farm, man, it was fun. They had all kind of alligators, any size you can imagine, from eggs all the way up to a big 12-footer that lives in their back pond.
Here, I'm grunting.
Yeah.
These are all fixing to hatch.
Oh, that's wild. Look at that one. Just busted out.
Yeah,
Right
there
there.
comes some. There's fixing to come out.
Look at him.
break loose and
It's coming right on out.
Just like that.
Yeah.
We actually got to hatch some gators. I mean, we got to peel the eggs back and
Like this little guy right here.
Yeah, you can film something.
He
Break
looks
it
like
out.
he's
Just
kinda-
crack him on out. Bust him out.
Are these like chickens? You guys get these every day or no?
No, there's only one time a year they lay in July.
Here, check him out, dude. Look at him. Already trying to bite me. What's up, little buddy?
then they took us back. This was amazing. They took us back to a 12-foot alligator that lives in their back pond. Look at him, dude. Oh.
You just look at the mass around his neck. You can tell how that sucker's ancient, man. How old do you think a gator like that is?
It's like 50, 60 years old.
Yes, sir.
You want to feed him a piece?
Yeah, I'll feed
I
him.
mean, it's nasty. You can put a glove on.
Oh, I don't know. It don't make no difference.
Ho-Ho gets his teenage daughter out there, and she's bumping this 12-foot gator on the nose with a piece of chicken, and it's eating out of her hand. So I felt kind of like a sissy. I figured I better feed this alligator. I won't be able to live with myself.
I'm not a gator expert, so. Oh!
Don't try and go pick it up.
I'm not. I was gonna find something to stab it with. I was hoping you were gonna catch that, man. What you're making me look bad on TV. I don't trust you enough to put my hand where I'm putting the stick right now. Oh, yeah.
Man, you know, it was really cool. The Brooks Brothers took us all around the gator farm, and we got to see some of that. But then it was time to get on the airboats, take a little ride, and check some of the hooks that Ho-Ho had set the night before. And the fun thing was, you know, it's almost a guarantee, man. We were going to have some gators on these hooks, and I was going to get to shoot them in the head. They will mess with you now. When you get about knee deep in the swamp and they reach up under the water and grab your calf muscle with their hand.
Dirty sucker. That's how the sheriff will do you right there, buddy. One in the boat.
Putting these jugs out for gators is a whole lot of fun. I mean, it's basically like what I used to do back home in the James River, you know, set trot lines for turtles and catfish, except if the turtles and catfish could eat you when you pulled them out of the water. So it makes it pretty fun.
But I always have room for that.
Good deal, man. We got 2 gators. We'll set some more hooks and see what we can do. Maybe go back and shoot a little bit. A pretty fun little morning right there, man. I should have seen that coming when you said you you got me, man. I ain't scared of you. That's a good one right there, boys. I might not have freaked out and run off like Jackie Bushman, but they got me.
On previous trips, we've seen how the airboats are made. We've seen how a few of our guns are made. We've taken a tour of the largest gator farm in the world. We got to hunt with the famous Brooks Brothers. And, you know, now it's time to come back down and do something we're real familiar with, which is shoot guns, and kill a couple hogs. The first thing we did was drop the truck off at A&B Graphics because they were going to hook it up with a wrap, and then Bobby's guys were going to come in afterwards and put some custom bumper work on it. I was excited to see this truck, man. We're going to put ground effects lights in it, and it's going to be
She look good when she wake up in the morning, even better than she did last night. And when she smiled at me and kisses my cheek, I'm thinking,
I gotta tell you, man, I was blown away. You know, I had kind of drawn this, you know, thing out on a napkin and said, you know, here's what I'm sort of looking for, man. But when I saw this thing, it was mean, dude. These guys know what they're doing. Dude, dang. That's crazy, man. The red arrow pattern that's in it, you hit it, it's just ping. Peter's gonna love the blood splatter. He drove all the way to Illinois one year with a Glendale buck in the back with an arrow through his heart, like a little blood on his nose. I got a bunch of thumbs up, but I got a few. We get the truck back to Bobby's, and it's time to put the bumpers on it. He's gonna make us some mean custom-made bumpers.
well, there might be a couple kind of like her, but rest assured, brother, this one mine. I'll be right there in her back pocket. She got my name tattooed where the sun don't shine. So you look at when she walks.
You gotta have AR mounts on your bumper, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know how you feel. It ain't no big deal. I'm the luckiest man in the world.
This thing is bad to the bone. His design nailed it all off. The idea that I gave him about the reflective mat was just, that was off the wall, because I've been doing reflective tailgates for a year.
You shine lights on it at night, and it has its own iridescence. It bounces that light back at you.
It's metal.
It feels sturdy, man.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take a beating. This is gonna take a bigger beating than any other wrap out there.
Yeah.
This laminate is like almost 3.5 mils thick.
The only thing that I'm still wanting to put on the truck is bow holders and machine gun turrets, and we're gonna put both of those on it next year.
Good deal, man. I appreciate the wrap, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming down.
Yes, sir. We'll be back down soon.
Heck yeah.
Sure.
Well, we go meet another guy who you guys might recognize from the New Zealand episodes. We go see David, and he's the one that's gonna carry us out to the hog hunting property.
I'm kind of excited, so you don't have to get into 50 yards with a rifle.
Now, David has got this old Betsy rig, man. He's built this swamp buggy. It's like a miniature swamp buggy. You know, we're not exactly spotting and stalking. We're more like riding and spotting and then just shooting stuff in the head. I mean, it's awesome.
We spotted 2 hogs moving along the fence line. One looks like a pretty good size one.
I know we saw over 100 deer that day, and then finally we roll around this corner and I spot a group of hogs just on the wood line. Well, we would move. Every time these hogs would put their head down, we'd make a little closer move and a little closer and a little closer. The good news is, when their heads are down, they're covered up in this grass. The bad news is, when I crouch down, I can't get a shot. And I got to a point where I felt pretty comfortable shooting offhand with this 300 Blackout.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Well, this was the first kill with the DB 300 Blackout, and I was pretty pumped, man. This thing, it performed for sure. It zipped through these hogs like they were a wet paper bag.
Shot that one in the head, or in the top of the bag. I held it right there, and it might have hit in the spine, but 2 hogs down, it's a kill, Mr. Simon. Lights out. Lights blacked out, in fact. Y'all don't know what a 300 Blackout looks like. It's almost like a hybrid between it's like a 5.56 and a 7.62 hybrid almost. I mean, you know, if you want to Google 300 Blackout, for those of y'all that don't know what it is, it's a mean round. One of the cool things about it too, you can run subsonics with 300 Blackout. It's a whisper quiet if you get a suppressor. So just a very cool gun. It definitely blew through these hogs though, buddy, because they both went down for the count. Appreciate it, Bobby.
Yeah, man.
That was awesome, dude. Hey man, Dave's not a bad hog guy. He just look at him up there.
Man, we had a ball down there with all the boys from Diamondback Firearms, Diamondback Airboats, the Brooks brothers, A&B graphic guys, David, you know, thanks for taking us hunting, buddy. I'm a diehard bow hunter. That's my passion. That's what I love to do, is shoot things with a bow and arrow. The stuff you don't see on the TV show is I also believe in defending what's mine. This is kind of the red arrow wake-up call to the country right here, man. Just because you're a bow hunter doesn't mean that these rights, these gun rights, are not important to you too. You know, it affects all of us, man, and whether you are a big fan of shooting AR-15s or not. And Ted screams this as loud as he can on his show, and I'm trying to do my part to make people aware. You know, the right to keep and bear arms has zero to do with hunting, zero. If everybody else who didn't care about the law has access to a battle axe, and you want me to use a knife, you're an idiot. Whatever the standard weapon of the day is what the citizens ought to have to defend themselves with.
All right, man, we're here checking out some of the Diamondback ARs. I got this little AR shorty pistol that Bobby built for me. It's mean, dude. A lot of people don't understand the fact that you don't have to have a special weapons license to own this. This is classified as a pistol.
Definitely a good backup for your hunting.
Oh, man.
Throw that in your backpack, compact, and break it apart in a couple pieces, and it fits right in.
Well, as far as a personal defense weapon too, man, you're talking about something that's easy to access. You can fit it in your vehicle. I mean, it's just, it's an all-around just great gun.
The right to keep and bear arms is to defend yourself against evil in the world. Whether that's some guy walking in off the street who wants to harm your family in some way, or whether it's a government who wants to impose unjust laws and basically have their way with you. You know, it's not the declaration, as Ted says, of need. It's the Declaration of Independence. So to have to ask permission or to explain yourself why you need an AR-15 is absolutely absurd. If it's legal in your area to carry a personal defense weapon, it is a crime deterrent, period. That's a fact. It's been proven time and time again that if bad guys know you have a gun, they're not going to be as likely to mess with you.
You know, you get your big bulky guns and you're like, I don't feel like carrying it in the grocery store or what, and that's the day that, you know,
But you don't need it.
stuff goes down, man.
Ladies last year successfully defended themselves over 200,000 times against sexual abuse or assault.
It's basically one of the smallest, lightest 9mm you can buy.
Yeah.
There's an iPhone 5. Just tells you, you know, the thickness and all that. But both of them real good for backup weapons. Put in your pocket, put in your purse, and ankle holster. They fit really, you know, they're super light.
That's the one Cat's gonna carry, I think, right there. Plus, you just got the laser grips on
Yeah,
it too,
you just
so
pull it out. You ain't got to think about shooting.
no-brainer, man. Point and squeeze, and you don't have to worry about sight picture a whole lot. You put that laser on whatever you want to.
Point,
The
squeeze,
thread,
and pull the
man.
trigger.
Done.
The point is to be ready at all times to defend yourself, but also to have the proper tools to do so. You know, if somebody comes at you with a crowbar and you have a gun, you win, period. If somebody comes at you with a gun and you have a gun, you have at least an equal chance to defend yourself. In a world where no guns exist, I'm perfectly happy with using a bow and arrow. But in a world where guns do exist and evil people do have them, I am so glad that I have my Diamondback AR-15 and this little guy right here to carry around in my pocket. There's an old saying, if you don't want to get eaten, don't stand around looking like food. Well, you know, we got down there and tried to do some bow fishing. I got some spit on my face. Yeah. Glad you were out here. I'd done the whole interview, like just drool on my face and sent it overnight to Josh, and there's no way he could have been like, hey, do that one again, you got drool on your face.